Hi. So got here a whole bunch of EXP badges, obviously. Um, I don't know which cards these are off of. Some of them are off of mine. Some of them are just parts that I've gotten over the years. I have a few others, but I could be wrong, but I don't think I have one for every car of mine. But I have some digging to do. I know they fall off over time and people just throw them in their glove box, which is good because should you lose these, they aren't replaceable. No one has them. But yeah, the foam adhesive that they put on the backs of these don't really last forever. I don't know if it's the adhesive that goes weak, or maybe because the chrome flakes off the back of these, or maybe it's because the paint on the trunk lid goes to heck and they stop working that great. But they like to fall off. So I'm restoring a whole bunch of these. As you can see, I got 4 here in front of me. I have some LN7 badges. I have one of them, and it's perfect, absolutely perfect. So I'm not touching it. But I will make more someday. I haven't made any yet, but I made a CNC, kind of like a CNC param for both this and the LN7, so I could 3D print them someday. So I'm just looking for a 3D printer supplier that can have these taken into and do it. Because in high school we had a 3D printer, but well, I graduated shortly after I made the 3D programs for these. But anyhow, I'll just grab one here. So this was one of my nicer ones. So it's a piece of plastic, kind of resiny. It weighs as much as a resin, but after you start getting into it, it's just real weird plastic. And it's chrome plated, like I said. So the entire face of it all is chrome. And then for the whole background, they paint a flat or sanded black over the chrome, and then they put an orange inside each of the letters. The orange is a little bit nicer on this one, but the black border is better on this guy. So how do you restore them? Okay, well, it's not too hard. Okay, so you take some 600 grit sandpaper, which is easy to get a hold of, and you just use this to rough up or soften the edges of the sides here, because a lot of them pit like this. It's not exactly pitting, but you know, weather wears the paint and the chrome, and the two of them react differently over time. So when they get real bad, yeah, they get like this. It looks like someone had galvanized it, even though it ain't. It's just real splotchy like that. But the paint peels off, and in some places they crack or swell. Like this guy, it's trying to swell right where the silver line is here, but it hasn't yet. This one that I just painted has swelled all over the sides, like everywhere. So I took my 600 to it, I sanded all the sides, and then I took a razor to the backside to scrape off all the excess foam adhesive. And oh, sorry, it's my cat. He's being quite anxious. I'm doing this down in my hobby room, and he loves it because he can just hang out with all the guys and soak up the love and attention. Don't you, big guy? Yes. So anyhow, so after you sand it, wash it in some soapy water, let it dry, and now you can start to painting it. I painted this one with flat black enamel from Testers. So if you wanted to know exactly what I used, here's the part number for you. So flat black. I probably should have used semi-gloss, but I didn't have any, and no one locally sells it. Not my hobby store, not my train store, and not the local Menards that had just last year started selling Testors paint. So I paint all the black parts, and then I grab my orange, which is also a bottle of Testors. This is a gloss enamel, this one. Yeah, 1127 orange, that's the kind. This orange is also good for painting the speedometer and RPM needles in your gauge clusters for EXP. So if you have some of this, keep that in mind. This is multi-purpose for EXPs. Be aware of that. So you just fill that in the center of all the letters. I used some thinner to thin it down so it would flow better, because I wanted full coverage. So there's not really any dark spots in any of my embossing, my font, my printing. And once I did all that, I grabbed my 600 again, and I went over the top face. So I removed all the chrome and whatever pitting there was. If yours has really good chrome like this guy does, or this one's okay. If it was better than this one, I wouldn't sand it. I'd just polish it. Polish it really good and call it a day. But mine was really pitted, like this third one down here, center screen. So, like I said, I sanded it with 600 until it was a uniform flat appearance. And yeah, you can see I didn't get it perfect in every corner, but from a few inches back, it's more than acceptable. It's pretty good. So yeah. Oh, what I used to paint the top, I used, again, some Testors enamel. This is their silver. Yeah, you can't read that, but it says 1146 silver argent. There you go. And this is useful not only on your badges, but it's good for your trim pieces. Because on the EXPs, or at least the first gens, on every dashboard bezel, there is a chromed line that goes around the gauge cluster, the radio, and the center console, and the lower gauge cluster. They all have a chrome border around each of the bezels. So the silver Testors, if you can lightly paint over each of those borders, it looks just like new. This also goes on the fan shrouds, those little louvered boxes that you can turn left and right to direct the airflow from the fans. That silver will go around the border of those two. But yeah, that's what the badge looks like. Keep an eye out in the future for a restoration of these Ford badges. This is one off the front of the car. You can see it fall apart like this. I did that years ago. So, taking it apart, I'm going to try to get rid of all these scratches, because from the side, that's horrendous. That is terrible. But while I restore this, I'm also going to look for some replacements, because no one has these listed as direct replacements for EXPs. So I'm going to dig around. We have an SVO Fox body at school. So I'm going to take some caliper measurements of that, because the mounting holes for it are the same as what I need. The second Ford badge, I can't remember what it's off of. Part number will reveal. E4 3B, or and E8. So this could be off 84 Escort. 84. Did they have the tempo? I don't know. I don't think it's for an EXP. It doesn't line up with any of the mounting holes I have for them, so. But this same design, plastic lens over whatever's down in there. So I'll make a restoration video for this. In the meantime, I'll try to find some replacements because I have a few that are missing on my cars. And I'll get some of these guys 3D printed. So we'll be able to rebadge a whole lot of EXPs. Then we'll go and rebadge a whole bunch of Mercury LN7s because I have each badge to do that too. So catch you guys later. Hope this works out for you as well as it did to me.